So someone was asking, like, what are the recession indicators, right? And there are a couple that have become trends that actually have to do with rising costs, and they're so hidden in plain sight, people won't even realize them. The first one is the rise in press-ons. Everybody wears press-ons now. Or if you don't, you need to. Everyone is wearing press-ons now because of how nail prices are. Like, people can no longer justify going to the nail salon and paying these prices for their nails because they can get press-ons instead. And you can basically get press-ons anywhere. So someone was asking, like, what are the recession indicators, right? And there are a couple that have become trends that actually have to do with rising costs, and they're so hidden in plain sight, people won't even realize them. The first one is the rise in press-ons. Everybody wears press-ons now. Or if you don't, you need to. Everyone is wearing press-ons now because of how nail prices are. Like, people can no longer justify going to the nail salon and paying these prices for their nails because they can get press-ons instead. And you can basically get press-ons anywhere. Another one that I feel like becoming a trend is meal prepping. People are meal prepping because it's too expensive to go out to eat. And also, it's not worth it anymore. Going to get fast food quite literally isn't worth it because you're paying expensive prices for crap. Fast food used to be realistically priced because they knew the quality of the food was bad. Now, they look you in your eye, tell you $20, and expect you to pay it. So people have started meal prepping, talking about sweet potatoes and ground turkey make you lose weight. Yeah, okay. It makes you feel full, and it's also cheap. But what are some indicators y'all have seen? Because I've seen a few.
I'll give y'all a couple before we keep going. Job loss, the 0% job market growth that's been reported. That's one. Failing consumer spending overall. That's the same thing with her saying people not going to getting their nails done, people not getting their hair done, people not buying clothes like that, people not spending on the holidays. Those are recession indicators. Black Friday, the stores were empty. Perfect example, right? Another one is credit crunches. When the credit card companies start cutting your limits down and failing home sales. Nobody buying homes right now. The people that did get them, they want to get out of them.
I think we've been in a recession for a couple years now, and the reason why is because everything that used to be a little extra, a little bit free, is gone. I first noticed this with fast food when they stopped putting napkins in the bag, and my favorite restaurant used to give out little free dessert. It was tiny, but a little free thank you dessert. They haven't done that in years. Also, restaurants who do like rewards points or a free dessert or whatever on your birthday, it has become such a rigmarole to sign up and download the app and put in all your information. It's such a hassle to sign up for like the rewards points.
You know what? Now that he pointed that out, they don't give you napkins, do they? I realized that recently. Like I said, I just started back eating fast food and I stopped again. But I noticed they don't give you napkins. Sometimes they won't even give you a spoon and fork. I just thought they forgot. I'm like, they must have forgot to put it in there. He pointed it out. No, that's intentional. They're doing that on purpose to save on costs.
First, it was Spirit Airlines, and now Delta Airlines is announcing that they're going to be eliminating food and beverage service on around 450 daily flights. Now, according to Delta Airlines, they are going to be eliminating this food and beverage service on what's called a short-haul flight, so a flight that's under 349 miles. So, for instance, if you're flying from Houston to Dallas, you wouldn't even get a drink of water anymore on a Delta flight. To me, this is a huge recession indicator. Airline travel used to be glamorous, and airlines would put out all the stops for airline travelers. Now, short-haul flights, which many business travelers use for work, are going to require people to plan ahead. Now, people have for years been bringing their water, snacks, and other items onto a flight. But the fact that you can't even get a drink of water on a short flight is crazy. And in an environment where flights are extremely expensive because of the increased cost of fuel and the war that isn't a war, this added change is one consumers are already talking about. And basically people aren't pleased. I get why. Delta already has higher ticket prices than other airlines. Taking away this small but helpful perk, I don't see it going over well with consumers. But you tell me what your thoughts are about what I think is a huge recession indicator in the comments below.
I want to show you guys something that really helps illustrate just how out of control living in America is right now. I know so many people who are making more money than they could imagine, making more money than anybody else in their family has ever made, and still feels like they are struggling to get by. I really need people to say and understand how fake the rhetoric that we are using around like salary and purchasing power is. If you were somebody in 1991, in July 1991, that was the year and the month that I was born. If you were making $150,000 a year, if you had that purchasing power, right? In January of 2026, you would need to make almost $400,000 to have the equivalent purchasing power. And I pulled this up from the Bureau of Labor Statistics. They have a calculator where you can calculate changes in CPI over time, right? And CPI is the Consumer Price Index. And that is the way that the government tracks things like changes in rent, groceries, medical bills, household items, right? It's not a static thing. They are taking into account what it takes to live a certain life. So somebody that was making $150,000 in 1991, you would have to make almost $400,000 in 2026. And another way to show this, right, is I kind of inversed it just to, again, paint the picture for people. $150,000 USD is the equivalent in 1991 in the month that I was born, the equivalent of somebody making $62,000. All of the metrics, all of the way that people talk about the economy, they talk about salary, they talk about inflation, these are based on models and metrics from the 90s that have not been updated. Because if they were updated, it would, I think, clearly show that if you are somebody, not to mention families, but if you are like an individual in the United States, if you're making like $100,000, if you're making $150,000, that is lower middle class, if we're being quite honest about it. That's crazy.
Yeah, that is crazy. The link between Michael Jackson and Recession. Now check this out. I haven't heard nobody else saying this other than her. This video was posted 1 hour ago. She might be on to something.
But the last time we was in a recession for real, was around the time that the Michael Jackson Experience came out, right? Like, he's such a symbol of joy and rebellion that every single time some stuff is going on in our socioeconomic and political climate, he pop around. So we was like, we was hitting them dance moves. And I remember there was one time I was at a friend's house because I didn't have the weed situation, but I was at a friend's house and he had this situation and I was Oh, see, it's time to go. What the hell is this? You can't have nothing. Anyways, I was hitting the moves so ferociously and so fiercely that I hit this number, like the boom. And I remember I threw the weed controller into his fireplace. So like, Michael Jackson is such a form of rebellion and joy that every single time we're all about to go under, they bring him back around.
Hey, I'm not gonna deny it. I'm not gonna knock her ideology. There must be some type of connection. Now they just came out with the new Michael Jackson movie. Where do you have it? The economy is doing terrible. We are in a recession. Not close to being in a recession. We in a recession. We've been in a recession. We near the breaking point. Now they come out with the Michael Jackson movie. I think she might be on to something.
One more thought on my daily Starbucks habit. So this Saturday, I truly did have a malfunction with my coffee maker and I actually needed to go get a coffee. And so I went through the drive-thru at my local Starbucks where they know me very well. And the manager says to me, "Oh my gosh, we haven't seen you all week. How are you? Is everything okay?" So bad. And I said, "You know what? It is. I just realized I need to probably be making coffee at home more often." And I basically told her, I'm spending too much money here. And she started to say, and I know she caught herself, but she said, "Yeah, that's a lot of people right now." And I said, "Yeah, I bet." Because this Starbucks used to be so busy. Every day it would be a line. I mean, carload. You can get in and out in 10 seconds now. There's never a line. There might be one car in the line. And there's no one in the lobby, because sometimes I'll go work for a couple hours in the morning in the lobby and there's barely anyone in the lobby, and the workers are standing around a lot. I mean, they're working, but there's definitely breaks in the morning rush. So I think it's a recession indicator. I think a lot of people are dialing it back. I need to be one of them. Give me more tips on how to make better coffee at home because my coffee sucks at home.
That's another good one. Who would ever thought the Starbucks customers would start making coffee at home? I'm talking about those people was serious about Starbucks. They were not playing about their Starbucks. Lines used to be all out, all the way onto the street into traffic. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Now, like she said, they don't have nobody in line. There might be one person, somebody in front of you and you. You can get through the line quickly. That definitely is a great recession indicator. That signals that the economy is struggling, people are struggling when people stop buying Starbucks. I'm talking about Starbucks had a cult following, a cult customer base. Drop in the comment section below some recession indicators that you have noticed. I appreciate y'all. Catch y'all on the next one.